I want to welcome you all again to this webinar. My name is Melanie, and today I'm going to teach you how to turn your art passion into a thriving online business without becoming a tech wizard. Now, if you stay to the very end, I'm going to offer you an awesome little bonus gift from me, and that is the top 5 artist mistakes cheat sheet. This is what not to do when selling your art online. I'm also going to be offering a live Q&A at the end of this presentation, so stick around and get your questions ready because I'm really excited and happy to answer all your questions for you. Now, maybe you've tried to sell your art in the past and you've failed. And if you have, I want to let you know that it's not your fault. Without the tools and guidance, it's like trying to navigate a forest in the dark without a flashlight. All I gotta say is ouch. Now maybe you might think, is this even a realistic goal? But I have really great news for you because I am 100% sure that the whole theory of the starving artist is a complete falsehood. And in this webinar, I'm absolutely going to prove that to you. Maybe someone in the past has told you that pursuing your art dream is really not a safe idea. I just want to let you know they said the exact same thing to me. But those are the same people who were surprised when I had success selling my art online. I want you to imagine for a second that you're a successful seller of your art online, you have raving art fans worldwide, you have a successful online art shop, you sell wholesale into beautiful boutiques, you're a highlight at the holiday markets. And guys, that's why I've decided to do this webinar, because I'm 100% sure and I really believe that creatives should always help and support other creatives. My goal today is I'm going to help 2 different types of people. Number 1, I'm going to help beginners. Those of you who've never done this before, I'm going to teach you how you can take your art designs and create a successful online business. And for those of you who are experienced sellers, I'm going to teach you, give you a new opportunity and approach to building your online art brand. I really believe with all my heart that the only way to dramatically grow your online art business is by creating art products for sale. The only way to build a successful line of art products is through my step-by-step 8-week program, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit. Now, before I go any further into that or into the secrets I'm going to share with you today, I wanted to just introduce myself. My name is Melanie. I am the founder of Vision City Design Studio. I'm actually a graphic designer and illustrator, and I've built a successful online art selling empire that has sold to thousands of art fans worldwide. I've been featured at major online art selling sites, blogs, national trade shows, and craft fairs. I've also had licensing deals with national retailers across the United States, including Land of Nod, Oopsie Daisy, Wheat Paste, and Green Box Culture. I've built a wholesale business selling art prints and greeting cards into gift boutiques and shops all across North America. But all of this has led me to wanting to share my story with you and help you along your art selling path. Now, I want to quickly go through my brief story just to kind of give you some context. Now, as funny as it sounds, I used to be a model by day and designer by night. Now, what do I mean by that? When I was in my 20s, about early 20s, 22, 23, I was asked to consider modeling as a career. Now, I have to tell you, I wasn't really necessarily my first choice because it was not my dream. But at the same time, I thought, hey, I just got married, I could use the money, why not? So I would do modeling by day, and I would take my design work, which I had actually just graduated from school for, and I would do that at night, and I'd work freelance at night. So I literally worked as a model by day, doing fashion shows, photo shoots, commercials, and so on. And I'd come home every night, wash off all the crazy makeup, take all the pins out of my hair, and I would work on design projects. I literally also happened to marry a rock star, no joke. So my husband, he goes by Manifest, he's an artist, a rock artist, he's toured the world. I've actually toured the world with him. And this is actually a very legit representation of my life for like probably 10 years. Oftentimes I would have to find a place to work, and so in this case, it was a locker room in an arena, as you can see, so it was kind of funny. I'd be literally hiding away working on my design projects. But this is the problem. I remember coming to a point in my life, I was about to turn 30, and I was kind of like, well, what am I doing now? You know, I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to kind of give up modeling. I'm ready to kind of move on from that. I'm really ready to take my design work more seriously, but I don't really know what to do from here. I remember going for a walk, and I call this the walk that changed everything. I went for a walk with my husband one night, and it was a really cold night in Toronto, which is where I'm from. And it was like a blizzard. And I remember all the newscasts were saying, you know, stay inside, don't have your dogs go outside, don't drive. It's pretty much not a safe night to be outside. And so what does my husband and I do? And we're like hardcore Canadians. So we're like, you know what? Let's put on our boots and go for a walk. And it was a really great opportunity for us both to just talk and be loud, and there's nobody out on the street. So it was kind of like awesome. And I remember venting to my husband that night. You know, I felt like I was doing jobs for people as far as design jobs. And every time a design job would be finished, I'd have to start all over again looking for a new client. And I feel like the money was okay, but it wasn't really like, you know, groundbreaking and awesome. It was just like, okay. And every time a job was over, I felt like, great, I have to reinvent myself all over again and then kind of become whatever the next client wants me to become. And those of you who are creative and work on commission basis, you know what I mean. It's like you almost feel like a chameleon every time. And then same with modeling. I felt like I was never really myself either, because obviously every modeling job I'd show up at, they'd make me into their character, right? And so I remember just venting and talking to my husband, like, what do I do next? You know, my real passion's art. What am I going to do? I remember feeling kind of like just frustrated. I was about to turn 30, and something about turning 30 felt like I needed to make a real life change. Like I wanted to do something that was going to really be moving towards my future. And I remember my husband turned to me and he said, well, what if you created a series of posters with your messages on them? Kind of like you're your own client. I remember when he said that, I literally kind of hit his arm and stopped walking. And I said to him, like my own line of art prints? And my husband, Chris, was like, well, yeah. I remembered immediately that a friend of mine had been selling on Etsy. I'd gone to her house for a holiday party recently, and she was raving about how much fun she was having selling her jewelry line on Etsy. And she was just really enjoying it and saying how it was creating a side income for her family. And I was just like, oh man, I gotta go home and check out. I wonder if Etsy actually sells art. Because all I knew at that point was that they sold jewelry and craft supplies and stuff, but I didn't know if they actually sold art as well. And then when I went home, I realized, hey, they do sell art. And that was literally my aha moment. It was a moment in time where I realized, hey, there's a whole nother opportunity for me that I never even knew was really there. And what if I actually took these art prints or these ideas that I've been kind of cultivating in my sketchbook, and instead of just giving them all away and selling them to clients and then having them, reshape them anyway, actually taking my own voice as an artist and really making it into a brand. So I started to sketch immediately. And to make things even more exciting and interesting, my husband and I decided to relocate from Toronto, Canada to California. We had been doing a lot of traveling through there on tours, and we really fallen in love with the art culture, the music culture, the skateboarding, surf culture, you name it. We absolutely loved California, and we ended up moving there for a while and really loved it. And it was almost as though right when we got there, after like selling everything and moving out of our home in Toronto and all of that, I remember having a goodbye party with all my friends, and it was emotional but also exciting because I felt like I was about to change and move into a new chapter in my life. I remember everywhere I went when I got to California, I saw signs like this, try something new. And I felt as though God himself was speaking to me. Like everywhere I went, I would see signs like this. I remember going to this event one night, and I call this the night that it was an epiphany for me. I was invited to a really awesome, motivational, inspirational event called the Imagine Foundation event, where it's like a conference for women, and they gather in Orange County, and they have these really awesome keynote speakers. And I remember sitting in this room full of women, and it was like the energy in this room, everybody was kind of like hungry to do something great with their lives. And it was really inspiring. And I remember this woman got up on stage by the name of Christine Kane. And I'd heard of her just in passing, or I've heard that she's written books, and I'd heard of her being associated with Hillsong's church and stuff like that. But I didn't know her story. I remember hearing her story that night and being so overcome with emotion and feeling so inspired by her. And one of the things she talked about was that, your life is more than just, it's not some accident. Your life has a calling and a purpose. And I remember being so inspired that at that moment, I remember having tears flow down my cheeks as I sat there listening to her. And it was as though she was speaking directly to me. And she was talking about how you need to take a hold of your life and do that thing, that passion that's inside of you, and to do it now. Don't wait. Get out of your comfort zone. So that was the night I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this concept of actually making art prints and really take this concept of really making my own art and basically kind of like my own merch in a way for my own design studio and actually getting my own voice out for the first time. And so what did I do? I went home and I wrote a plan. I decided that night I was going to create 12 screen prints. They're going to be 11 by 14 inches, black and white on only recycled papers. I'm going to have to find a screen printer. I was going to have to order supplies, build an Etsy shop, do a photo shoot, and of course plan a launch party. I gave myself 3 weeks. I gave myself a really hard deadline, which now when I look back was kind of crazy, but at the same time was kind of great because I actually went ahead and announced it on social media at the time that I'm going to be launching a screen print collection in 3 weeks, and I literally made it public. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And it's kind of like my commitment to myself as well as anyone else who was going to listen to me that I was going to do this. And I didn't care what anyone's opinion was. I was doing it and I was excited. And for the first time, I really began to look inward and actually make a plan for my own voice to get out there as an artist. But here was the problem. I had no experience doing a launch. I had never done screen printing ever. I had no idea where to buy shipping supplies. I was clueless on how to set up an Etsy shop. I never even heard of SEO. And by the way, P.S., no one knew who the heck I was. But you know what? I pushed forward anyway. I remember making a few awkward phone calls to some of my hero design artists that I absolutely love, asking them their opinions on where I could find a screen printer, what kind of paper I could use, and so forth. And I remember actually really stepping out, and I pushed forward anyway. My husband even agreed to literally give me his credit card so I could go ahead and spend money on actually creating these art prints. It was a really big deal for us, and honestly, we didn't have that much extra money, so it was really tight, but he believed in what I was doing, so I was like, well, if he believes in me, I guess I'm going to push forward anyway. I remember the day I picked up my art prints for the first time. My husband took this photo of me, and I was so nervous and excited all at the same time. We just spent over $600 printing a whole series of art prints that frankly nobody was expecting from me. You know what I mean? It was as though I was this like random person about to put this random art online, and I'd spent $600 doing this. Now in hindsight, maybe the $600 spend wasn't the greatest idea, but I was so green I didn't know any different. And so what did I do? Because I had not only modeling background, but also my husband, who was, and still to this day is, involved in rock music, every single time he would launch a new product, meaning a CD, he would do a photo shoot. And I was used to doing photo shoots, so I thought, well, let's do a photo shoot. And so I kind of put on some fun clothes, and I grabbed a friend of mine who had never used a digital SLR, and I showed her how to use it really quick. And I'm like, hey, you, can you please take some photos of me holding my prints? I just want to make it kind of fun and kind of fashion related. And so we went out one day all around Orange County to our favorite spots, and we just got some really cool photos. And this actually became part of my product line collection, promotional pieces, as well as catalog, and all kinds of stuff. I'm still using these images to this day, so it's kind of fun. I remember it was the night before my launch. I was so excited. I was terrified. I was literally praying that somebody, anybody, was going to buy these prints. I mean, after all, I had just gone ahead and spent $600 on printing. I'd spent more money on frames. I'd taken the photos into my little apartment and taken, product photos of them leaning against the wall on my mantle. I had like invested time, money, energy over the last 3 weeks in this. And I thought to myself, I'm either absolutely nuts or I'm a genius, but I don't know which one I am. So here goes, I'm going to launch. And I literally remembered like actually closing my eyes, bowing my head, and saying a really quiet prayer under my breath. Dear God, I really pray somebody will buy a print. Just somebody, anybody. Even if it's my mother, just please let somebody buy this print. The launch day arrived, and I miraculously got sales on Etsy. I remember literally looking at my inbox with the tears coming down my face because I literally was in shock that somebody had bought. And I remember breathing a sigh of relief. Phew. I was so thankful and relieved. And the coolest thing is that the order didn't come from my mom or my best friend or anybody who knew me. It came from a complete stranger. And I'll never forget that one girl. Her name's Hannah. And I'll never forget Hannah, this girl who I didn't know, who went out on a limb and bought my first art print. I was so honored and happy that somebody thought my art was great enough that they would actually buy it and order it online. And so what do you do when you have even an ounce of success? Of course, you throw a launch party, right? So I invited a whole bunch of people over to my house. A lot of them were new friends that I barely just met because we had just moved there. And I took one of the walls in our apartment and I converted it into kind of like a gallery wall. And I had some bottles of wine, I had chocolates, I had just some sweet treats and fruits. And I remember people were coming and going all night. And it was such a fun night. There was loud music playing. And I'll never forget that night because as people were leaving, they started to come up to me with their credit cards. And they're like, hey, what can I buy? I want to buy some stuff. And they were like pointing at some of the prints on the wall. I want to buy this one and this one and this one. And I remember thinking, oh, wow, I'm not even really prepared for this. I just thought it was kind of like a fun launch party, kind of more just like to celebrate. But people were like, well, no, this is a party. Like, I want to buy some of your prints. My husband and I were actually walking around looking for a square reader that we had on our phone and trying to figure out how to use it because we weren't prepared. And how like green were we, right? And so it was kind of fun. I'll never forget that night. It was a lot of fun. We ate cupcakes, way too much sugar, laughed our heads off. And I sold a ton of prints. And I'll never forget the people that came out and just supported. They were so sweet. Some of them I'd barely met and they still came out. Some of them even brought like their kids with them, their family, their friends. And it was like a really, really great night. The next thing that happened was really exciting was I got contacted by fab.com. Now, if you're not familiar with fab.com, it's actually an online website where they sell high-end modern home decor items. And I was actually asked to do a sale on there. And at the time, a friend of mine, he kind of introduced me to a buyer, and the buyer contacted me and said, we want to feature your brand on Fab. And what they did is they actually did like 3-day flash sales where for 3 days they'd feature you and you'd actually offer your art for a discounted rate for their customers. Now, I just sent in my art photos. I thought, cool, yeah, let's do it. I booked it with them. But frankly, I didn't really know what to expect. Guys, in 3 days, I sold 491 prints. That's just under $5,000 US. Now, reminder, I'm Canadian, okay? So that's more in Canada. That's probably like closer to 6,500. So that was astounding to me. My husband and I were laughing our heads off. We could not believe that I just sold 491 prints in 3 days. It was nuts. But all of that would not have happened if I didn't actually first set up an Etsy shop. If I first didn't step out and just, use those 3 weeks to get my act together and really put something together. For the next several months, I did multiple showings on Fab where I would be featured over and over again on the USA site, UK, as well as Germany. Next, I did trade shows and craft markets where I remember actually doing my first show was at Unique LA in Los Angeles downtown. And suddenly I was doing these huge events and there'd be thousands of people coming to these events. It was amazing. I remember being featured at this event. There was about 600 applicants and about 300 got in. And I got in and I was starting to be like, wow, this is becoming a real business. And so before you know it, I started to do more events like this. I started to sell like crazy. And it was a great learning experience. I learned so much about trade shows, how to sell in person, how to really connect with customers and wholesale buyers in person. And so I did many more events, both in Toronto and Los Angeles. Here I am at the One of a Kind show, Toronto. It was just an awesome time where I was learning like crazy, and I was suddenly being thrusted into so many different things and learning on the spot. Next, there was what I call licensing deals and growing belly, and I'll tell you what I mean. I was contacted by a company that actually does licensing, and they have a relationship with the Land of Nod. Now, the Land of Nod contacted them on my behalf, and they actually were asking them and asking me if I would do a licensing deal with them and actually have my art prints converted into canvases and licensed to Land of Nod to be featured in stores all across America. I remember walking into the store for the first time, and there I was on the wall. There was actually my art pieces were converted into canvases. Now, keep in mind, I was like having like a pinch me moment because not only was this an exciting experience, but I hadn't even told anybody yet that I had just found out that I was pregnant. My husband and I were expecting our first child, and here I am in a baby and kids store that's like a high-end boutique at South Coast Plaza, which is a very high-end mall in Orange County. And my art was on the wall in this beautiful boutique, and I kind of was thinking to myself, how did I get here? How did this happen? But you know what? It all happened because I released art products. So some of you might be listening and watching to this right now, and you make art. But have you ever thought that maybe your art could actually be featured in a beautiful shop like this, like Land of Nod? Like, this is possible, and that's really why I love doing these webinars, because it really inspires you guys who maybe want to get on this journey as well. And so, as I said, as my business grew, so did my belly, and I'm very excited to announce that I soon after gave birth to my little girl, my daughter, who is now 3 years old, and she's been a real motivation for me when I'm really creating my products and as well as growing my online business. Next came wholesale opportunities where stores, boutiques, shops, online places, they started to contact me to actually get my art products sold to them. So I started to sell into stores. So what that means is you actually sell 50% discount and you sell in bulk. And so you sell, instead of selling one print or two, you sell like, 100 or so. And so it's a great way to get a lot of product out there and to grow in so many different ways. I started to get into really cool shops like this one. This is Lone Flag in San Diego. And I remember a lot of artists and designers started to reach out to me and ask for my help. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I wish I could help them. And so I felt like I knew so much that I could be of help to them. And so that's why I started to actually teach thousands of artists all over the world how to build their own online art product brands. My husband really encouraged me to try teaching. I'd never taught a day in my life, but I taught some courses and they exploded online. And I had thousands of people all over the world taking these courses. So in the process, I really found a new purpose. Not only was I passionate about art, design, but I wanted to help artists and designers to build their own online art brands. Okay, enough about me. This is actually really about you. Maybe you have been struggling to get your art out there or to be seen. If you're an artist, designer, illustrator, or letterer, you're my kind of peeps and I can help you too. The traditional way is exhausting. Trying to figure it all out on your own is a waste of time, money, and mostly your creative energy. Everything I have learned, I've gathered together to share it with you. I want to shortcut your road to success. So that's why I've created the Etsy Artist Dream Kit. This is an 8-week step-by-step guide to building a profitable online art brand. Now, before I go into any further about this webinar, the secrets I'm going to share with you, or to talk more about the program, I want to share with you some of my students' testimonies. And here I have one that says, I have been taking time off this year and trying to find new inspiration and really find my niche and get things moving in a new direction. And your class is exactly what I needed. I cannot wait to watch your other classes and get started with a brand new inspiration. Thank you so much. And that is Bryn. She's a creative consultant. So right now what I want you to do is actually turn off all distractions, because in this next few moments, I'm going to share with you really some great secrets on how to actually turn your art passion into an online thriving business without becoming a tech wizard. But for your benefit, I encourage you to turn off your email notifications or anything that's going to distract you. Maybe close the door, put on some headphones. Just do something that's really going to keep you focused so that you can get as much as possible out of what I'm going to share with you in this next section. I'm going to share with you 3 secrets. Number 1, I'm going to share with you how to make sure your art products will sell before you invest time and money creating them. Number 2 is going to be the top 3 most ethical ways real artists aren't starving. Number 3 is a hidden secret your competitors don't want you to know that I used to get 10 times more traffic to my Etsy shop. Now, if you guys are ready and excited, give me some heck yeses in the chat. Let's get excited, guys. I don't know about you, but I love to learn, and that's really why I'm so excited to teach, because I know how you guys might be feeling. You have a lot of questions, concerns, frustrations, and in this webinar, for the rest of this webinar, I'm really hoping to kind of alleviate some of those things and inspire you on the possibilities that are available to you. Now, secret number 1, if you guys are ready, say heck yes in the chat. Now, this is how to make sure your art products will sell before you invest time and money creating them. Now, the answer to that is simple. You need to test your art products before they go online. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, number one test you can do in this case is, are your art products trending? Now, what do I mean by trending? Trending is when you consider the things that are already popular in culture. Like, for example, you'll probably notice over the last several years, things like pineapples, gemstones, unicorns for sure are a big trend this year. So in other words, these are things that you're seeing everywhere. You're seeing them on art prints, on cards, on t-shirts, on backpacks, on stationery, on pencils, like everything you can imagine, on jewelry. Everywhere you go right now, for example, unicorns is probably the biggest trend. My daughter's 3 years old, and all she wants, guess what, is unicorns. She wants unicorns pillows, unicorn art, she wants unicorn t-shirts. It's everywhere. And so these are the kind of things we need to actually take advantage of knowing in order to know whether our products are going to be in line with things that people are already looking for. Another thing is girl power, especially after like the election, the whole concept of like the future is female, she can do it, girl power, you go girl, you got this girl. Phrases like that are really, really popular, as well as the moon related art because of the eclipse in 2017. That's definitely a trend. Other phrases like this one, for example, she believed she could, so she did. This is actually one of my own art prints. This was a really popular print for a while. It still is popular. And it's definitely like a phrase that is kind of like an empowering phrase for women. So a lot of women who are my customers, they tend to really like this print for that reason, as well as color pages. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. It's kind of been going on for a few years now, and I think it's still going on, but it's kind of slowing down a tiny bit, is the whole concept of coloring pages for adults. So it's not just about kids anymore. It's about like therapy coloring pages. So these are kind of some of the things I mean by trending. Now you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, but I don't want to sell out, right? Now this is not about you selling out. This is about you selling, okay? Now people that create art and throw it up online and don't consult anything, and they just don't even like look and see what's trending, let's just be honest, they hide in their corner of the internet, unfortunately, as brilliant as they are. They hide in the corner of their internet and they don't make sales. Now that's frustrating to me, someone who is an artist who wants to make money. Now I don't know about you guys, but I want to make money doing this. Do you guys want to make money? If you want to make money, say I want to make money in the chat, okay? If you want to make money, then let me know, because I hope that those are the people I'm talking to right now. If you want to do this as a hobby, or like a fun habit on the side, that's cool. I mean, but this webinar is really for those of you who are serious about actually taking this art passion and actually making it into a business. Now I want you to look really quickly at this really cool diagram I created. It's got about 15 different pineapples. Now some of you might be like, yeah, I don't want to sell out. I don't want to like become something I'm not and be all trendy and like give in to the man and all that kind of stuff. But I want you to know that there's a million and one ways for you to design a pineapple or to illustrate a pineapple. So you can still do the trendy thing in your own way. That's the whole point of this diagram, that there's 1,000 ways probably to design a pineapple or to illustrate a pineapple or to do watercolor for a pineapple or whatever. But if something's trending, you might as well try the thing that's trending, but definitely 100% put your own spin on it, because your style is what people are really buying. They don't want to buy one thing that looks like everybody else. So it's important to remain, confident and sure of your own style and true to that. But you might as well at least try something that's trending. It doesn't mean every product has to be trending, but I talk more about that in my program. There's actually a way of designing in a whole collection of products so that you're going to win. There is actually a way of doing that, which I talk about now. So that's really how you make sure your art products will sell before you invest your time and money creating them. In my 8-week program, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, I show you how to effectively plan for an all-star art product line. Now, before we go any further, let's hear again from some of my students. This is Mita. She says, OMG, I'm just at the beginning of lesson 3 and have already learned so much. Bazia Merrick says, thanks. It's great how you just cut this big thing into small pieces, so it's not as scary as it seems. It actually begins to feel manageable. Now, I totally relate to Bazia here, because it's very true. When you want to do something big and a whole new project, it can really feel overwhelming. And that's what I feel like I really am great at, is actually breaking things down. And my students seem to say that over and over again, that they actually feel like it was easier than they thought it was going to be. Now again, if you stay to the end of this webinar, I'm going to offer you my top 5 artist mistakes cheat sheet. This is what not to do while selling your art online. And I'm also going to be doing a live Q&A at the end of this presentation. Now secret number 2, if you're ready, say yay in the chat. All right, now top 3 most ethical ways real artists aren't starving. What I mean by that, the starving artist is a lie. I'm here to tell you it's not true. There's plenty of us artists out here that are killing it, making some serious cash, but are you going to be one of them? These are the top 3 most ethical ways real artists aren't starving. Ready? Now, the old way was to design for one client at a time, which is what I did for a long time. The new way is to design once, meaning create a product, and get paid over and over and over and over again. Why build someone else's brand when you could be creating your own brand? Now, this is a revelation for some of you. You've been creating for like clients and for people that hire you to do murals and people that hire you to do paintings and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. I love clients. I still have clients. But it's not only about creating their brand and their business. What about your brand, your business, your future? What about your lifestyle? What about making money while you sleep, which is really what happens when you create products? See, there's actually a story I have here that I want to tell you. Actually, I remember being in design school, and it was the first day of signage class. And this teacher walked into the class, and he was kind of like a funny character. And he walked up to his desk, and he had this kind of bag that was really heavy, and he kind of slammed it down on the desk. It made lots of metal noise. He had all these kind of random gadgets and things in his bag. And I remember thinking, what a funny guy, you know? But then he walked up to the chalkboard, and he wrote these words, and I'll never forget him writing these words and then turning around and explaining what he meant. He said, no sign is a sign of no business. And here's what he meant. If you look at this picture, this is a shot of Target. Now, everybody pretty much knows what Target is. It's a giant, home of all things to do with family life. You can get everything here, clothing, home supplies, you name it, right? However, now look at all the people who are walking in. They're all walking in and out. It's a busy place. No matter when you go to Target, it's like Walmart, right? It's like always busy. Now, I want you to look at this again. What if I took off the sign? Before it looked like this, but what if I went like that? Now, do you think that that place is going to be an attractive place for people to be running into to get toilet paper or to get toothpaste or to get clothing for their kids or to get diapers and all the things that we need? Do you think any of these people are going to be walking in and out of the store? Absolutely not, right? Because there's no sign. So suddenly that just becomes an empty warehouse, right? It looks like a warehouse. It doesn't have any value to me because there's no sign. And that's how a lot of artists look online when they have no online art shop, which is what I'm going to talk about next. You might be saying to yourself, yeah, but I already have a portfolio site. But here's the problem. Portfolio sites are great, but they only serve your clients. What about your art fans who just love your style and are inspired by you and would love to buy something from you? Now, here's an example of a company that I love. They're called Invisible Creature. They don't only offer design service, but they also create incredible products. A lot of times they're limited editions. They create their own t-shirts. They create limited edition posters that they sign, and they sell products to people. And this is what I'm talking about. The number one way to make money with your art online is to create an online art shop, period. This is the number one way for you to make money with your art. This is a place where people can find your art products online so that they can buy from you. It's also a place where you can make money while you sleep selling printable art. This is for real. I literally make money, guys, while I sleep. I make money while I'm out at the park with my daughter, going down slides with her. I look at my phone and I have sales. And guess what? I don't have to do anything because the customer downloads it themselves and they are printable. So this is a great way to make income while you sleep. You can also create sets and packages to increase income from sales in your shop. So instead of selling just one print, find some pieces that can work together and create a set. For example, this is a set I sell all the time. And in fact, I usually sell out of this set. I have to always reprint this one because people want this one so much. You might be thinking, yeah, but an online art shop takes so much time to create, right? It can if you do it on your own, but with a guide, it will take you a fraction of the time. The next way that I really believe that you can actually make a real income with your art is by doing trade shows and craft markets. Now, how many of you guys are ready to hear about this? If you are, say yes in the chat right now. All right, I am really excited because trade shows and craft markets have actually really changed my business for the better. And I'm excited to tell you guys about how you could actually do this. You can make a lot of money in a short amount of time at a trade show. Now, for example, this is me at the One of a Kind show. And literally, you can make thousands of dollars in a day at an event like this. All you got to do is set up a booth, set it up properly, and I actually talk all about trade shows in my course as well. But within literally a day or two, you can make thousands of dollars. You can also do custom orders on the spot and paid in advance. So say for those of you who are illustrators and maybe do, say, dog portraits or family portraiture or something like that, you can actually be set up in a booth or at a table at a trade show. And you can be doing some, illustrations on the spot and then taking orders for people. Maybe you take their photo or they bring a photo of their dog or whatever. And then you can actually be taking orders on the spot. They pay you cash in advance or online on credit. And this is a great way. You literally leave with thousands of dollars in hand. And then you go home and you fulfill the orders. This is a great way to actually make a lot of money on the spot. You can also create special promotions and sales offered only at the event. Like, for example, here I'm at it's called the National Women's Show in Toronto, and I sold a killing amount of products at this event. And the reason why is because I created promotions that were exclusive to this event. I had the Women's Show package where I actually packaged a few prints together, or I would say if you buy one print, it's this price. If you buy two, it's this price, and three, and it's every time they bought more, it'd be more savings. This is a great way to sell a ton of product at a really short amount of time. You might be thinking, yeah, but setting up at art shows can be risky, right? It can if you wing it. But if you use my awesome checklist, which is included in my program, you will be sure not to miss a thing and maximize your results at every single event. Yeah, but you might say, yeah, but what does live events have to do with selling my art online? My answer is everything. Every single time I've done a live event, there's been a huge spike in sales in my online shop. Now, reminder, if you stay to the very end of this webinar, I'm going to give you my top 5 artists mistake cheat sheet, as well as a live Q&A. So get your questions ready. And number 3, I'm going to share with you a third awesome way to make money selling your art, and that is by selling wholesale. Now, maybe some of you have had a dream of actually getting your art into shops, into boutiques. This is what I'm talking about, and that's what wholesale selling is all about. You can expand into new circles. In other words, maybe you sell in one group or one demographic of people. Now, just because you're selling in one demographic of people doesn't mean that other groups aren't interested in your products. So by selling into different stores, you can expand and expand and expand and grow and grow and grow. You can also get a minimum order amount. So in other words, say for me, I only sell $100 at a time or more. I never sell wholesale for less than $100. The reason why is because I'm already selling everything for 50% discount. So if they want to get that discount, they've got to pay up basically and actually order at least $100 worth of products. This is a great way, again, to make a really good chunk of change on every single order. And I also believe that when you are working in wholesale, you get paid in advance for wholesale orders. So I don't really believe in doing consignment because then you're chasing after people for money and it's a real headache. But when you do wholesale orders, you get big chunks of money paid in advance, and then you just send out the products and you fulfill them. This, again, is a great way for artists to quote unquote not starve and to actually make a real income building their online art brand. So those are the top 3 most ethical ways that real artists aren't starving. If you enjoyed those 3 new ways of earning money, I want you to say yes in the chat. Guys, these are the ways that you can actually create real income, okay? I talk about how to do this in my actual program, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, where I've put together a really concise, organized actual plan and guide for you guys to really learn how to do this. Now, if you guys are ready for secret number 3, give me a yes in the chat. This is going to be the hidden secret that your competitors don't want you to know that I use to get 10 times more traffic to my Etsy shop. If you guys are ready for that, give me some noise in the chat. Say hello, say yes. Now, this is actually a print series. Before I go into that, this is a print series I did called the City Girl series. Now, this is a series of art prints I made where I actually featured fashion illustrations for some of my favorite cities from around the world. So at first I did 6, and because it went so well, I've grown this series to 18 prints, okay? Now, when I would go to events like this one, I would sell really well. People would come up to my table and they would buy from me in person. I found like people would come up with like their bridesmaids and stuff like that, or their sisters or besties, and they'd want to buy like a whole bunch of these and actually buy them as gifts for their girlfriends or for their sisters or bridesmaids. And it's like people were buying them in groups to the point that I even packaged them as a set at events because people wanted to buy them as a group. However, I found that when I went online, they weren't selling through as fast as I thought they were going to, and I was so puzzled by it and frustrated. But the only problem was I didn't know anything about SEO. Now, maybe some of you, this is a new term, search engine optimization. This is basically how to optimize your online art shop so that people can find you, and that people that are already looking for your products, they can actually type in what's called keywords into Google or into Etsy or any other search engine, and they can actually find you by using keywords. Now, keywords are basically any words that you and I use to go and type into Google, for example, to find what we're looking for. And oftentimes we'll do one search and then we'll also refine the search a second time. So they have to be really, really specific, these keywords. So the problem was my Etsy shop's titles, so the titles for my products, my tags, which is a fancy word for keywords, and the descriptions for my products, they did not use effective keywords. So this is what I discovered. And so I had to do some research, some time, I had to spend some money to do some trainings to find out what was the problem. Now I looked at my listings and I thought, okay, this is how the listing looks. Am I doing right? But what I discovered was that the keywords in my titles were not lining up with what people were already looking for. And so for that reason, I was not winning. I was not selling as much online. Now, how on earth are we supposed to know what keywords to use, right? Have you ever thought that? Like this whole thing about SEO, like where do you even start? Okay. I was getting so frustrated. I started to dig, and guess what I found? I found the answer, and the answer is this. There's this thing called Marmalade. It's a website where you can actually go on and become a member of, so that you can actually learn how to discover the keywords for your shop. Marmalade is the best Etsy SEO and market research tool for serious sellers. Now, man, when I discovered this thing and I started to actually implement the stuff that I talk about in my course, oh my gosh, it was like night and day difference between having like crickets and no sales to having a ton of sales for these prints that were driving me nuts because they would sell well in person and not online. And so I started to implement this program and learn how to use Marmalade, and man, it changed the game for me and for my business. Now, some of you might say to yourself, OMG, this SEO stuff is so technical and I'm not comfortable with tech talk. Now, neither am I, and if I can do this, anyone can. Now, let me quickly go over the 3 secrets again. How to make sure your art products will sell online before you invest time and money creating them is to test your art products before they go online. I've created what I call my 5-step art product test in my program. That is a sure way to make sure your products are going to win before they even go online, okay? Number 2, the top 3 most ethical ways real artists aren't starving is number 1, an online art shop, 2 is the trade show and craft markets, and 3 is to sell wholesale. This is how artists are making real money, okay? Those of you who want this to be an income stream, these are the ways to do it. Number 3 is a hidden secret your competitors don't want you to know about that I used to get 10 times more traffic to my Etsy shop, and that is the lovely, beautiful program called Marmalade. Okay? Those of you who have never used this, this is going to blow your minds, and I trust me, this is a life changer and a game changer. Let me ask you a question. Has this webinar inspired you about the potential of your art or designs? Now, it's impossible for me to share everything I know with you right now, and so for that reason, I've created what I like to call the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, which is a really awesome program for artists like you guys who are just like me, who want to get your art out there into the world and aren't really sure how to go about it. Now, if it's cool with you, I would love to share a bit more about this program. I won't take too long. I'll just take a few short moments, but I think it's worth it because this is something that can help you guys. If that's cool, say yes in the chat. Here, guys, the truth is I already know this stuff. This is stuff that I do every single day, but this really is not about me. And now, if this is cool with you, I'd love to share this with you. If not, then I won't, but I'd love to hear you guys say yes in the chat, because here's the thing. I'm already selling online. I'm already selling wholesale. I'm already having licensing deals. I'm already doing trade shows, craft fairs, holiday markets, and so on, and really making a serious income. But if that's okay with you guys, I'd love to share my program with you that I've created. In fact, so many people were asking me for it that I had to stop my other parts of my business to create this program. And so if that's cool with you, I'd love to share that with you. Now, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit is an 8-week step-by-step guide to building a profitable online art brand. Now, week 1, I talk about foundation, where I actually will show you how to actually build a product line. I will take you through the 5-step art product test, as well as what I call the top 10 reasons you should create your product line and how it can affect your life. I go really deep in the first week. I consider the first week as kind of like pushing a boulder up a hill. In order to actually get that thing to move, we got to hit it pretty hard. And so I really, really go hard the first week. This week is going to be life-changing for you guys. It's going to focus you on your niche style and really focus you on your true audience and make some great, great decisions for your business. Week 2 is about the Etsy intro, where I talk to you all about the ins and outs of Etsy, as well as how to really know how to use Etsy for your advantage in your business. Week 3 is photography, where I will personally show you how to create beautiful product photos for your art and how to actually create photos that win, because really, photos sell on Etsy. The beautiful product photos that you're going to be creating in week 3 are going to be awesome. And they're going to really make you feel like you're moving forward, because you can use these product photos in your social media, on your website, like you name it. This is going to be a huge week. Week 4 is all about becoming an Etsy artist, where I'm actually going to walk with you and hold your hand step by step through Etsy on how to actually become an Etsy artist and how to do it right the first time. Week 5 is all about the dashboard. Dashboard's like the back end of Etsy. These are like the technical guts of Etsy, learning how to actually become like a real ninja in the back end and know how to actually use the operating system. It's way easier than you think, and I make it super easy for you guys. So week 5 is going to be all about dashboard. Week 6 is SEO. For some of you who are completely freaked out about SEO and search engine optimization, I'm making it really, really easy for you guys in week 6 about how to really structure your business so that you're not setting things up the wrong way and then not having anybody come to your online shop. Most importantly, we want people to come and see your products, and that's what week 6 is all about. Week 7 is about shipping. If you're like me, the idea of shipping products is not exciting, but we have to do it, right? If we're creating products, we need to know how to get it to our customers with it not arriving looking like it's been through a war, as well as making sure it arrives on time, as well as not breaking the bank with shipping. There's lots of tips and tricks I offer in week 7. Week 8 is the over-deliver, where I show you how to keep your customers coming back over and over and over again, and how to over-deliver for your customers and keep them really, really happy. Here's another great review from one of my students. Stacy says, I've been working through your course and I'm loving it. Thanks for compiling so much helpful information. Here's Brian. He actually talks about something that I think a lot of people will relate to. Here's what he says. Thank you so much. You've given me much inspiration and hope after going through your course. I was so lost about what to create for my own products. I was a designer who had been rendering services to corporate customers and employers who don't appreciate my contributions. At times, I had lost my identity as a designer. Now, you have given me great ideas as to how I can tap into my design skills and knowledge. Now, some of you might relate to Brian here, and I definitely would say I relate to him, because it's true. You can actually feel kind of like you're losing yourself while you're working for all these other clients, and you're always kind of becoming a chameleon for all of whatever they want us to create. And I think that it's very true that sometimes you just need to have a bit of confidence building to know that whatever you want to put out into the world is really valuable, and you can actually use your own voice as an artist. Here's Erin Sternberg. She's an illustrator, and she says, "You're amazing. Thank you for this thorough class. It has been so helpful for me as I really want to start an Etsy shop." Now, first of all, super sweet of her to say that. And you know what? I'm really glad because it really helps people who want to get started. Some of you guys are just like Erin. You have all these ideas, but you just don't really know where to start. This is a great course and program for you because it'll really kind of walk with you through all the steps, and it'll actually make it feel more manageable and easier than you might actually think it might be. Now, if you're an artist, designer, illustrator, or letterer, I'm absolutely sure that this course will help you. All levels are welcome, so no matter where you are in the program or in this kind of process, you can definitely get through the process and really make some real impact with your art. You might say to yourself, yeah, but I have a full-time job. I don't have 8 weeks to focus on this. And I want to let you know that that's okay. You can work through the course at your own pace. The 8 weeks is simply a timeline guide. And I feel like this is something that people might feel nervous about. 8 weeks, maybe they feel like it's too long or they feel like it's too short. No matter where you are in your own timeline, all that matters is that you keep walking forward. Now, I really make the 8 weeks program just so that I'm giving you a structure, but honestly, it's definitely up to you how you want to walk through it and at what pace you want to walk through it. You might say, yeah, but I have young kids and barely any time to myself to build my art business, even though I really want to. Guys, I'm a mom too, and you'll be surprised with creative ways that you work towards your dream. Now, just for like a quick story here, I remember when my daughter was literally an infant. She was literally 6 months or 7 months. I remember working on my business while she would have her naps. Now, all of you moms out there know what I'm talking about, especially when they're young. I feel like during the nap times has literally been the times that I grew my business so much. So I really believe that if there's a will, there's a way, and that you can use the time that you do have to actually make an impact. I mean, the time is going to be spent anyway. You might as well spend it on your business. Here's Lacey. She says, "Thank you for sharing your Etsy experience with us. I've just started my shop and already had my first sale." See, this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited, guys. Lacey is an artist just like you. And maybe you're like, you know what, I don't even know if this is going to be worth it. Am I actually going to get sales? Yes, you are going to get sales if you go through this course, okay? I'm really confident in that. And the reason why is because it's a very thorough course. And even though it's thorough, it's still really manageable. So you can actually walk through it and have effective results. See, I wouldn't really be doing this unless I was really confident in what I'm sharing with you guys. And I wasn't, if I didn't have that kind of sense of what I can actually offer, because I know I've walked through this myself. I'm not just some teacher, I'm actually an artist who's doing this every single day. Now, what I don't want you to do is to wait until you know who you are to get started. I remember seeing this quote in a really famous book called Steal Like an Artist, and this book really changed my life because it was really about talking about getting inspired and really taking that inspiration and making stuff. And that's definitely what I want you to do at this point. I want you to take the inspiration that you've heard in this webinar, but I want you to take action. Don't wait till you know who you are to get started. Now, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the value of this course is $2,997. And the reason why is because it's an 8-week step-by-step guide to building a profitable online art brand. That is the value of what you're going to be getting. And I want to share more about this with you guys. I'm also going to be including what I call the Etsy shop checklist. This is tool number 1. In other words, this is a tool that you're going to use so that you're not just kind of walking through a process unsure of which way to go. The Etsy shop checklist is really designed for you to walk through so that you're not missing anything even as you're going through the course, and that you can actually download, print it out, and actually be checking it off as you're going through. I'm also going to give you what I call the top 10 reasons why you should create your own art product line course. This is a 1 hour training and a worksheet. This is really a motivational course to really help you develop your why. Now, what do I mean by that? Your why could be things like maybe you want to partner with a charity and you want to have part of your sales go towards a charity that you really believe in. Or maybe your desire and your why is actually to have more time with your kids. And so for me, my why was I really wanted to spend more time with my daughter, who was a baby at the time, and she's now just a toddler. She's I guess just out of toddler age. She's 3.5. But man, it's just amazing how much time I got to spend with her as a result of working on my business from home. Now, these are like 10 whys or reasons why I believe that this is a great business style and a lifestyle for artists, designers, illustrators, letterers, because you can actually be free to really have the lifestyle you want. And this course is going to give you 10 motivators or 10 whys, okay? This is included in the 8-week program. You'll be able to follow simple step-by-step checklists, discover the benefits of creating a product line, find your why so you stay super motivated. You'll be able to get rid of wasting time roaming the internet for answers, wasting money creating products that do not sell, and all the product collecting dust from not selling, okay? This is checklist plus motivation plus focus. I really believe in this phrase. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. In other words, follow one course of action, okay? Because if you start to, dive into one program or one thought, and then you get switched over to something else, it's kind of like that whole shiny object syndrome, where you see a shiny object and you start to, follow all these different ideas. What I want to encourage you to do is to follow one course of action until you're successful. We all have the same amount of time, but it really is about what we do with the time that we have. So I really want you to take the time that you do have and to make it effective so you can work towards your dream. I wasted so much time fumbling my way through Etsy, trying to figure out how to set up a successful shop, feeling frustrated when I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted, being unclear on my niche style, and trying to please everyone. Does that sound familiar? Now you might say to yourself, do these tools work for everyone? The answer is yes. No matter what stage you are at in your art selling journey, these tools are game changers. Plus, I want to also include in this package something that I think is extremely effective, and that is my 5-step art product test. This is a 30-minute training plus a checklist, okay? Now, this is something for you to work through in order to build an effective art product line. It's not only the 5 steps, but it's also other things that are going to help you build a product line, okay? I was so frustrated because I would add art prints to my Etsy shop and they would not sell. It was heartbreaking. The problem was I had no strategy. It took me years to learn how to build a product line that would sell successfully, but you don't have to. I'm giving you my proven system to build a profitable art product line. Now, would that be helpful to you? Now, this is strategy plus guide and plus worksheets. I'm a huge fan of worksheets and checklists, by the way, because they've absolutely changed my life and how I really move forward in my business. And so I've really filled this program with great worksheets and checklists to make it easier for you guys. You might say, yeah, but I don't even have products yet ready for sale yet. And here's the thing, don't worry. I'm going to teach you step by step how to take the art you're already making and turn it into an art product that you can sell. Now, some of you have literally sketchbooks and notepads full of ideas and art projects and things and just concepts. I want to take those with you and show you how to build them into an actual line of products that are sellable, okay? Now, what you're going to get is the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, for a total value of $3,994. Plus, I want to offer you something else I think is really, really, really useful, and I'm getting a huge response from artists on, and that is my Facebook Accelerator for artists and creatives. This is how to get 10,000 art fans in less than 10 days. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Facebook is still by far the #1 place to generate customers and art fans more than any other social media. Now, I've been really doing this Facebook Accelerator course for the last while, and honestly, artists are freaking out, and this has been like blowing up for me because people want to know how to get on Facebook and how to really generate art fans. Now, what happens when you have 10,000 art fans on your Facebook page? What happens is called social proof. Now, when people find you on Facebook and you have 100 likes, that's not as exciting as 10,000 likes, okay? I'm going to teach you how to get 10,000 likes in less than 10 days. Now, this can be sped up. You can do it in 3 days. You can do it in 20 days. You can really work with it however you want. But this is definitely a way to generate 10,000 likes. And I say less than 10 days because that's the strategy I'm offering you. But again, you can speed that up if you like, or if you want to lower the budget on the ad, you can actually even spread it out a little bit to make it easier for you, whatever you want to do. But this is a very, very effective tool. My husband uses this even for his music business for online. So this is very, very effective, but in this course, I target this specifically for artists and creatives like you. I'm giving you my proven strategy to building real art fans on Facebook. Now, would that be helpful to you? You might be like, yeah, but I'm not good at Facebook. Here's the thing, it's okay. I got your back. My step-by-step instruction makes it super easy to be successful on Facebook. I don't even just show you how to get 10,000 likes. I also give you the top 4 types of posts that generate the best results for artists. Like things like that, things that people are not going to tell you because they're not necessarily found everywhere. These strategies are only in this Facebook course that is super, super effective. And the greatest thing is this course is super easy to follow. So it's really foolproof for anybody who's new on Facebook or just getting started. This is a really, really concise course for anybody who's an artist. So what you're going to get is the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, my Facebook Accelerator course, and for a total value of $4,591. Plus, because I also believe in Instagram, I'm also going to offer you the Instagram Accelerator for artists and creatives. How to market your art on Instagram. Now, if you're like me, you're a huge fan of Instagram. Instagram is completely visual. It is not only Instagram, posts and photos, but it's videos, it's Insta stories. There's so much you can do right now, today, on Instagram that you need to know how to do in order to really promote your business. I sell my art over Instagram all the time. There's so many things that you can do on Instagram that are like secrets and tips and tricks that are going to make it super easy for you. I even show you how to pre-schedule your posts so that you don't have to be on Instagram every day or on social media every day in order to really build an actual schedule in advance. So trust me, this is an awesome, awesome program as well. It's really concise. It's not a very long course. It's actually really concise and it's super easy to follow as well. I'm giving you keys to be successful marketing your art on Instagram. Would that help you? You might say, yeah, but I don't feel confident to market my own art. Now, this is something I find a lot of artists feel, and I want to just address this right now. Don't worry, I teach you how to connect with people who are already interested in your niche style. In other words, you're not going to become this crazy self-promoter that's going to be annoying everybody, annoying your friends and family. Not at all. It's actually about reaching out to people who are already looking for what you make. And I teach you how to do that in these courses. So what you're going to get, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, Facebook Accelerator, Instagram Accelerator for a total value of $5,188. Now, when you sign up, I also want to offer you some really sweet bonuses. Now, if you guys want to know what bonuses I have, say heck yes in the chat right now. Now, I don't know about you, but I love giving bonuses because it's kind of like the sprinkles on top. It's like the cherry on top. It just adds sweetness to the whole package, right? I don't know about you, but I love when I'm in a store and someone's like, oh, well, when you buy this, you also get this, right? So that's kind of what I want to do in this webinar for you guys because you guys are awesome. And for spending this time with me, I want to offer you some great bonuses. I'm going to offer you this course, which is Marketing Your Etsy Art Shop. It's an online and in-person strategy. Now, I'm actually offering you things in this course that people don't really talk about that I think are so valuable, not only online and within Etsy, but also in person. There are so many things you can do in person to actually sell your art that people don't really talk about, and I feel like it's such a miss because there's so many ways that you can actually be making money in person. Like, for example, you can do a launch party. I talk all about how to schedule and create a launch party. I talk about how you can do trade shows, craft fairs, holiday markets. I mean, you name it. There's so many things you can do even within Etsy that are online that are not necessarily just on social media, but they're online in Etsy that are already built in ways to build marketing strategies. These are the kind of things that I think are overlooked that people are a bit like, they kind of shy away from. But I feel like they're so easy that they're kind of like a given. It's kind of like leaving money on the table. So I talk about marketing your Etsy art shop in this course. So what you're going to get, you're going to get the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, Facebook Accelerator, Instagram Accelerator, as well as bonus number 1, which is marketing your Etsy art shop for a total value of $5,685. I'm also going to offer you a second really special bonus. I want to offer you my resource guide. Now, what's in my resource guide? This is actually a PDF booklet that I've created and designed. And it's actually for all the artists who have always been asking me questions over direct message or over email, over Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And they ask me questions like, what kind of paper do you use? Where do you print? How do you order your supplies? Where do you order your supplies? They ask me all these kind of questions. They ask me for contacts, people that I work with, and so on. All the questions that you're already thinking to ask me are in this guide, okay? This is a great bonus that you can download, you can print out, you can go through, and you really just get some inspiration. I talk about like different companies that I think are really great to work with when it comes to like packaging or when it comes to really, promoting your business, how do you really find the right printer and so on. All the type of things that you're going to be looking for. Like I even talk about like at-home printers, the top 5 at-home printers right now that are on the market. And these are things that you and I need to know as artists who are building an art brand, okay? This is the resources guide that I'm kind of just tossing in on top for a really great package that I think can really serve all you guys who are artists and creatives out there. So what you're going to get now is the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, Facebook Accelerator, Instagram Accelerator. Now bonus number 1 is marketing your Etsy art shop, as well as bonus number 2, which is the resources guide, for a total value of $6,182. Now, I just want you to kind of take a sigh of relief here. I'm not going to charge you $6,182. Now, what I do want to offer you, though, is this. Let me ask you a quick question. If all this did for you is teach you how to build an all-star product line that would attract a loyal customer following, would it be worth it? If all this did was teach you how to build an effective strategy for growing your business on Facebook and Instagram, would it be worth it? If all this did was teach you how to generate massive traffic to your online art shop, would it be worth it? I want you to think about that. So I had 2 choices. I really could have gone as cheap as possible and try to sell as many people as possible, or I could listen to what artists have been asking me for and offer them only that, plus real strategies and steps to get them to their goal. So what you're going to get is the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, Facebook Accelerator, Instagram Accelerator. Bonus number 1 is marketing your Etsy art shop, and bonus number 2 is the resources guide for a total value of $6,182. But because you're on this webinar today and you spent this time with me, I want to offer you a really special price of only $567. If you go right now to visioncity.biz/dreamkit, you can go ahead and take advantage of this crazy, crazy deal. I also have this really convenient 4-payment plan of $157, so you can actually spread this plan out over 4 months. So it's $157 per month, and then that way you can go ahead and get started right away and not having to wait until you have the full payment. So again, it's 4 payments of $157, and you can get started right away. When you click on the sign up link, you're going to arrive to a page that looks a lot like this. On the left-hand side, you're going to see all the different courses and content that is involved in this program, as well as on the right-hand side, you're going to see the 2 different payment options. The first payment option is the full payment of $567, and then the second payment option is 4 payments of $157. Now that is definitely the lowest payment option I have, and a lot of people have been requesting this payment option, so I'm really excited to offer you 4 payments of $157. I hope that's really convenient for you guys. So what you got to do is just select which payment you'd like to go with, and then just click the large teal colored button on the right hand corner that says join the Etsy Artist Dream Team. I'm really excited for you guys to join this program, and thank you guys for all of you who are joining already. Now I've also got connection with this thing called PayPal Credit. Now if you've never heard of PayPal Credit, you can actually go to paypalcredit.com and you can apply to them, and they will actually, once you're approved, they will drop $1,000 into your PayPal account. And then that way you can go ahead and use that, and you can have 6 months free of no interest, no payments when paid in full. So this is a great way for you to get 6 months head start, and you can get started right away and just work off the payments over the next 6 months. This might be another option for those of you who maybe don't have the cash on hand right now. This might be a really convenient way to get started. And for those of you who are wondering, I do accept PayPal just as a payment form as well. So it doesn't have to only be credit card. Now, like I mentioned at the end, I'm going to be doing a live Q&A, so get your questions plugged into the chat, and I would love to answer them. I do have some questions that have been pressing as well over email, so I will be generating some great question and answer at the very end of this webinar as well. So again, what you're going to get is the Etsy Artist Dream Kit, the 5-step art product test, Facebook Accelerator, Instagram Accelerator. Bonus number 1 is marketing your Etsy art shop. Bonus number 2 is the resources guide, and all for 4 payments of $157, or you could do the full payment of $567. But I want to really highlight this 4 payment option because this is definitely the lowest payment option that I've ever had. I have had 2 payment options before, but I feel like this is really what a lot of people are requesting. So I really wanted to honor that request and offer the very low 4 payments of $157.
Hi guys, Connie here with Constance Reader Botanicals, and I just wanted to take a moment this morning to give a shout out for Melanie Greenwood's new online course, the Etsy Artist Dream Kit. I started taking this course a few weeks ago, and if you are like me, where you have dreamed of having a business selling your art and putting your art into people's homes so that it can be a light and encouragement there, but you just weren't sure how to make that work. You weren't sure how to get to a place where you have your own online business. This is the course that you want to take. It has set me on the right path. Finally, after all these years of trying to put this together myself, start a business of my own with my art, and it has shown me what my niche is. It's helped me to discover that. It has shown me step by step how to put together a product line that I never even would have considered doing in the past, and how important that is to do that. And it has helped me discover who my customer will be and what it is that that customer wants to have in their homes, and how I can use my style, my niche, and design things that are pleasing and encouraging to my customers. So I just wanted to share this time with you. Like I said, I'm just really super excited about this course. If you are wanting to start your own business, selling your art, this is the course that you want to take. I highly recommend it. Again, it's called Melanie Greenwood's The Etsy Artist Dream Kit. And you can find it on her website, and you can find her on Instagram, on Facebook. So anyways, I hope you'll check it out. It's so going to be worth it.
Hey friends, it's Erin, and I am someone that went and purchased Melanie's Facebook Accelerator for Artists. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm a, 16-year veteran, aging myself, 16-year veteran of graphic design, spent most of that time in the corporate world, and have recently just started to venture out on my own. And, you know, as an artist, it's really easy to believe that you can't do this and that no one's going to buy your stuff, and it's really hard to do it online and blah, 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 right? We tell ourselves these stories, and there's this belief out there that it's really hard to make it online. And let me just tell you, this course that Melanie puts together makes it feel so easy. I did exactly what she said. I made the ad, I put it out there, and I was getting likes on my page for a penny a piece. So I spent $100. I have 10,000 new followers, and it feels like I'm back in business. I was struggling for a while. I played with ads, I got them, but it wasn't doing me a whole lot of favors, and I didn't really understand what the point was. You know, if you weren't getting people to opt into an email list, and Melanie explains this in an entirely new way that really makes you feel like you can get some traction under your feet, make some progress really quickly, and seeing those numbers just jump up just makes you feel really good. So it's worth the investment. She should be charging a whole lot more for this, so it's like a steal of a deal. Get it, do exactly what she says. It absolutely works. She's got a lot of great tips and tricks in there that you've probably never seen before, and it's going to help you understand this process a whole lot easier. So that's my experience. Thank you so much, Melanie. You're awesome. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Hi, my name is Diane Pasquale. I'm an artist and animator. I am also the founder of Prism Light Studios Animation. I recently tried Melanie's Facebook Accelerator videos, and I just wanted to share my story with you guys, that her method works. Oh my God, we went from like 200 Facebook likes to about 8,500 Facebook page likes. in 9 days. And I think we did the $5 a day. Yeah, I think we could have gotten more reach, but we just wanted to do something minimal. But again, thank you, Melanie, for putting those videos out. I'm so grateful I came across it, and I wish you guys would try the same and get amazing results. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get going on the Q&A portion of the webinar. I'm really excited to answer all your guys' questions. I'm just going to go over the chat really quick and make sure I answer as many questions as humanly possible. All right, I was going to take a sip of water and I'm out of water. Okay, so Sarah says, how does lifetime access work? I download the class on my computer or can log in. Okay, so Sarah, great question. Lifetime access means you're gonna have a username and password. So you're gonna, when you purchase the program, you create your own username and password so you can access it at any time. I never take it down. If anything, I update it. So say if there's something that needs to be updated on Etsy, I update the course content that you have access to for lifetime. So there's never gonna be like a time that I say, okay, your class is over. It's gonna go on for as long as you wanna use it, which is very handy. For those of you who are interested. Let's see. Will this offer come up again? Let me just see here. Make sure my offer, let's see if there's, okay. So yeah, there's an actual, there should be an offer button on your guys' screen. I don't know if it's coming through or not, but it's basically a way to get to the actual offer. If you are interested in joining my program, which I hope you are, if you are interested, you can go to visioncity.biz/dreamkit. visioncity.biz/dreamkit. That's how you would go ahead and join that as well. Somebody here is saying, sorry, but the pressuring deadline, Elisa is saying, the pressuring deadline isn't helping. Okay, so let me clarify, if I could speak. The deadline, it's not like today only, but this webinar offer is only offered right now to you guys. So in other words, even after this webinar, there will be a couple follow-up emails for those of you who are interested, just give you an opportunity to join this actual webinar offer. The reason why is because this offer is the best like package offer that I have as far as programs. However, this program, I feel like is exactly what like all artists have been asking me for. And this is also the price point that I feel like is meeting in the middle because it's like, you know, $567. It's kind of like literally halfway. And it's kind of really been working with a lot of artists. This is the exact course content that a lot of artists have been asking me for. So that's why I've made this specific offer. So I feel like it would be kind of like weird if I like talked about all these opportunities, but I didn't give you guys any help as far as courses. So that's what this is all about. So, I mean, no pressure. If this isn't the right content for you guys, then that's fine. But I think it will be because if you're on this webinar and you're looking to start or, you know, get better at selling your art online, then that's exactly what this course content is for. So hope that's helpful. Let's see here, a couple more questions. Lots of heck yeses, I love that. Wondering if your course covers best methods for print production, tangible production. Okay, this is Caitlin. She's saying, wondering if your course covers best methods for print production, tangible production information. Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense, Caitlin. And when you say production, this course or program content, it covers a variety of things to do with creating your products, including deciding whether or not you want to be the printer and the maker, physical maker of your own products, or if you want to hire that out to somebody else. I actually have a section of the course that's all designed to actually help you to decide what's right for you, because not all artists want to actually print their own stuff. Some people do. Some people want to screen print or lino cut or do letterpress or a variety of different art forms of printing. So that might be you. You might want to print your stuff on your own. And I actually have a section of the course that are the top 5 at-home printers that are like the best, most efficient, as well as, you know, financially, you know, great investment kind of at-home printers. So say if you want to do greeting cards, art prints, posters, a variety of different types of art, even large scale art. Like I think there's some of the printers go up to about 14 by 18 even. So you can even get a very high quality at home printer at a pretty reasonable price. And I actually go through that. So I talk about that kind of stuff. I do not, however, show you how to screen print or how to lino cut print or how to actually do letterpress. I don't actually go through the how-to of those methods, but I do talk about how to source the right printer, how to like figure out what's right for you as far as the overall marketing side, as well as kind of like the business decisions rather than the actual printing how-tos, because I'm more helping people who already have like an art style, or maybe they have like an art vision of what they want to do, or maybe they're kind of in the process of figuring that out. But like, rather than me showing you how to make the art, I'm actually more showing you how to take the art you're already making or want to make and make that into a business. So I'm definitely more of somebody who's going to come alongside of you and actually educate you and teach you and tell you the buttons to press within Etsy to actually make your online art business successful. So I hope that helps and I hope that answers that question. Okay, so Christy Gaunt says, definitely need tricks on shipping. My first time shipping, I shipped out $15 order. Totally didn't know what I was doing. And half the money I made from sales was spent on shipping. Okay, definitely lesson learned. So Christy, absolutely. Within the course, I talk a lot about shipping. Actually, one of the weeks inside of the Etsy Artist Dream Kit is the shipping week. You can do that earlier in the course if you want, but it's basically dedicated to to shipping. And like actually things like shipping labels or how to actually do shipping profiles within Etsy. And I'm looking right now in my office because I won't even show you. I even talk to you about things like how to package. So here's one of my prints. This is my Toronto girl print. And I actually talk about like the shipping supplies. So like, excuse me, let me just get this here. So like I even talk about like where do you get these actual shipping supplies. So things like clearbags.com, they actually sell these sleeves. I go to uline.com to get these corrugated cardboards that I use for all of my prints. I talk about how to actually package and ship things out. I also talk about, say, the actual rigid mailers. I'm looking for them. Anyway, I've just changed my office, so I don't have it beside me. But I talk to you about the kinds of rigid mailers I use. I talk to you about how to actually make your package feel and look like it's arriving from your studio. So I talk about all the extra things you could do on the exterior of your packaging to make it look like it's your brand. Very, very important when it comes to branding. For when people receive something from you, that it looks and feels like your brand, which is going to make it stand out among other people. So I talk about all angles of shipping, okay, as well as over delivering to your customers, how to make sure that everything arrives to them easily. I talk about all the different forms of shipping within Etsy to make it easier. Like, for example, the shipping profiles, they're actually designed to be set up once, and then it's like set it and forget it. So you can set up each item. Like, for example, I sell 11 by 14 art prints. So all my 11 by 14 art prints have the same shipping profile because they're the same weight, size, and so on. So if I had cards, all the cards would be one shipping profile and so on. So there's a variety of things within shipping. I could talk about shipping all day because it's a very big topic, but I've made it really clear and easy within the course. So let's see what else here. Any other questions? I'm going all the way down. Currently stuck in the Christy says, currently stuck in a position of constantly creating for others and not having enough time to create and build my own brand. So Christy, this is why I do what I do, okay? This is why I've taken aside, months of my own like creative time, because I have a graphic design and illustration studio, which is what I'm in right now. So I work for like my clients as well as I have my own art product brand. The art product brand is kind of taking over because it's like, obviously it's growing. But this is why I'm so passionate about helping artists, is because there's so many people who are literally like working in a day job or maybe working only for like clients all the time. And you start to feel kind of like you're being pulled and pulled and pulled. Yet in the back of your mind, you have other ideas and other like concepts and even messages or causes that are really important to you that you want to support, or maybe you want to get certain art out there, or maybe you have like great fashion illustrations or maybe you're like an animal illustrator or like a watercolor painter or somebody who you just have your own thing, your own style, and you want that to become something that you're known for. So if that's you, then this is definitely for you guys. So I definitely had that level of frustration when I was trying to figure out how to get my art out there. And so I definitely think that this is going to answer a lot of those frustrations that you might be feeling. So I agree with you, Christy. It is definitely a feeling of being stuck, of like you have a day job or a client basis of work that you want to kind of break free of in a way. And I'm not saying to anybody to go like quit their day job tomorrow, so don't quote me on that. But I am saying that there's a possibility for you to get your art out there to people all over the world to buy it from you directly, and it's like never been easier. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to go for it. Let's just see here. I'm going all the way down. Okay, I'm going to go to the top here. Let's see if there's any new questions. Hannah's asking, how many people approximately have gone through these courses? I've had thousands of people go through my courses overall. I don't know the exact numbers on this specific course, but this specific package is fairly new. So this package I've only been offering for about 5 weeks. I think this is my 5th time doing a webinar for this package. So I don't know the exact numbers for that, but I've got thousands of people that have gone through my courses from all over the world. I have people that have written me lots of emails, messages, and so forth with lots of emotional responses. And they kind of tell me that this has actually been a really help for them, that they get kind of emotional because they say, I didn't know this was like possible. And then they tell me about their sales and stuff. So yeah, I've had thousands of art students going through these courses. So is there a guarantee, Hannah's asking? And yes, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you're not 100% happy, then you can do that. I've never had anybody ask for the 30-day money back guarantee, which is a really good sign, which I'm very proud of because people have never asked for it. So that's kind of cool. Caitlin says, what you explained is exactly what I was asking for. Thank you. You're very welcome, Caitlin. Amanda, on the course, are you available for further questions? Yes, I am available. I'm a real human being. I'm not like a computer or whatever. I'm definitely here to answer your questions at any time. If you're like, I don't get it, lesson 5 is stressing me out, I don't understand it, then you can just contact me directly. You can send me a message, and I'm absolutely here for you guys. Definitely, yes, that's the answer to that. Do you do all your packaging shipping yourself, or is there a way to outsource it? Great question, Lisa. There is a way to outsource it. It depends on, your overall kind of goal as well as how much you're selling, okay? I wouldn't outsource until you're making a lot of money, okay? So I've done outsourcing before at different stages. Right now, I'm sending out my own, not because I'm not selling. I'm actually selling a lot right now, but I just I figured out a little system for myself that works. And so it just works for me. My husband also sells physical products, so we both kind of are always shipping. So if I'm going to do the shipping that day, I'll like send everything out for him too. So we kind of work together. So if I was doing it all by myself, though, to be honest, I'd probably outsource it. So you can. There are different outsourcing companies. It's kind of hard to recommend one because not all companies are creative equal. But for me, the time that I outsourced was actually to my printer. So I have actually chosen to not print my own art. And the reason why is just for time. Like I don't have enough time to also be my own printer. But my printer was so kind where she actually would print my orders. Like if I didn't have something in stock at my studio, I would send her a message and say, hey, can you print this out and send it to this customer and ship it to them? Here's their address. So it was kind of like on an ongoing basis. That was what worked for me, but it really depends on your goals as well as your personal income goals. I would definitely not do that though until you're making a lot more money, because then you're going to be giving away some of your profits. I'm really big on profit margin. So your profit margin needs to be like 70% at least. If you can get it to like 75, 80%, you're like winning big. So I definitely encourage you. Like I would feel weird printing lots of stuff that's then maybe doesn't sell. Okay, yeah. So Lisa, I do understand why you asked that question, and it's true. I would encourage anybody who is creating a product line. Number one, I'm going to give you a few like freebie of tidbits right now. So number one, your product line is what it is. It's not one product at a time you're putting out on Etsy. You're launching a line of products, okay? The line of products is going to have 10 products, okay? Now they're going to relate to each other, and in the course I will talk a lot more about this. I actually break down the 10 in kind of different sections so that you know what things to kind of cover in your line of products, because it's not just about putting out 10 things, you know, without thinking about it. It's definitely strategic. Those 10 prints or cards or paintings or whatever it might be are very strategically put out. But you want to make sure that if you are, for example, going to print, then you only print a very small selection of each. So maybe you print, 10 of each or 5 of each, just to test the waters and see who's buying what. You could also do print on demand. So maybe you just print when things are ordered, especially if you're printing at home. This can work really well. And then you just take the orders in, they pay you, and then you print them like that day or the next day, and then you ship them. So then as long as you get them out the door within I say between 2 to 3 days is like the sweet spot. I don't like people to wait too long because then they get a bit anxious and frustrated, especially if they order from overseas. Like I have people that order from London, England, and all these different cities overseas, and I'm like, okay, I got to get that out the door like right now because I don't like them to wait. So hope that helps answers that question. I'm kind of rambling here. Oh, here we go. I already answered Amanda's question. How many products and prints would you recommend? To start with, 10. Okay, 10 is the sweet number. You could do 12. My first print collection was 12. I just kind of like randomly came up with that idea, but I feel like 10 to 12 is a good number. It's like when you walk into a store and the store is full and there's variety. That's what you want it to feel like on your online shop, that there's variety. If there's not at least 10, it doesn't feel like there's enough, okay? You can do more than 10, but I wouldn't like go out the gate with like 50 art prints, okay? It's just a bit too much and you don't know what's gonna work. So if you can test out 10, out of 10, maybe 3 out of 10 are your like #1 sellers, then you can think, okay, how can I make more art similar to that? How can I make things that also refer to that? Why did those sell? And you start to ask yourself questions. Who are the people that bought these? What do they have in common? These are the things we start to think about. We start to actually kind of go through a process in our mind. And all these things are psychological processes that we go through in the course. Like, why did this certain group of people all happen to be very similar who bought my products? What is their age? What sex are they? What are they? Are they moms? Are they dads? Like, all these things you start to ask yourself to really break down, who's my ideal buyer? Why did things buy? Or why did they buy things? And so on. So I'm kind of giving you lots of really great info here, but these are the kind of things that absolutely make or break your shop. So I would be more comfortable getting friends and family to help initially, and then maybe someone when the money starts to come in. Yes, Amanda, I absolutely agree. Absolutely. Get your family on board. Like, absolutely. My husband and I work together on everything. He's a musician. He travels the world. We've traveled the world together. I kind of told you some of my story. So I absolutely agree. Like, if you're, friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, like if you have kids that are of age that can help you and package your art prints for you and help you and just spend time with you, it's a great family thing together. My daughter, like, she's 4, or she's about to be 4, but she might want to put a sticker on something before I mail it out. Like, she's just having fun, right? But it's a great way to involve your family and also get a bit of help. There's been lots of times where I've set up at trade shows. I remember my dad actually came to a trade show and he's literally like swinging the hammer and he was like helping me set up my booth. And it's like, it's fun. It's a great way to involve the family, get the help. Definitely involve them, and many hands make light work, as they say, right? So definitely want to encourage you guys to do that. Now, for those of you who have a couple other questions that I get asked a lot, so I just want to make sure I answer them. The marketing course, for example, if you're thinking about it, the marketing course is really great. The reason why is because I don't only talk about online marketing within Etsy, which I do, but I also talk about offline marketing. that everybody forgets to do. Like, people don't think about doing a launch party, and it is like the best thing ever. So I encourage you guys, do a launch party when you have a line of products come out. Or, you know, do like an event, a private event. Maybe you gather with a few other of your artist friends at like either a bar or at like an actual coffee shop and throw your own event. When you throw your own event, it says a lot about your business. So I know it sounds kind of scary, but it's actually really fun. And you can make it like a home party or, you know, these types of things. And these are things I talk about in the course. So I talk a lot about offline marketing as well as online, okay? The Facebook course, Facebook Accelerator, is literally like, people are freaking out about it because they're loving it. They're telling me like, I can't believe this actually works. Like, they're freaking out. But basically, it's a way to get 10,000 likes on your Facebook page for your business in under 10 days, okay? This is a ad strategy, okay? So there is a very specific strategy to do this. It works. I've done it. My husband's done it. Many other artists have already done it. That's probably one of my #1 selling courses right now. So I want to make sure you guys know about that. It's not just a like strategy only. It's also posting strategy. I talk about the top 4 ways artists should post on Facebook and why, and how it will change your business. So very, very, very good course. The Instagram course as well is ram-packed. I talk about pre-posting so that you're not like thinking about what to do every day on your posts. You're pre-posting things online, and there's different like tech strategies as well as like kind of like gadgets that help you do that. It's so much easier than you might think. A couple more questions just came in. Let's see. Christy says, my boyfriend does photo and video, which is a great compliment to everything I do. Oh, awesome. High five on that. Yeah, that's awesome. And then my dad actually helped me build my screen printing table. Super thankful for family and friends. Oh, that's awesome. That's, okay, seriously, like, Christy, that's awesome. And oh my, like the fact that your boyfriend is a photographer and videographer, like, amazing. Because, okay, that's another thing I want to mention really quick while you brought that up. Like, do photo shoots, do like marketing photo shoots with your art. Like, you physically in the shot, if you don't want to be in the shot, you don't have to be, but if you want to be, awesome, have fun with fashion and makeup and have fun with it. And like, find cool locations and take photos of your art. Like, I still to this day use photos that I've taken like a couple of years ago, because you can use them in a variety of different ways. And there's some photos I didn't use yet, so I can use them. And I can use them on social media. I can use them in ads. I can use them on my social media platforms and banners on my Etsy page. There's like a ton of ways you can use those photos. So photography is amazing. Amanda says, my mom and sister have already offered. That's awesome. So definitely, again, family, getting the family involved. Christy's saying that her dad actually helped build a screen printing table. Like, this is awesome, guys. I want to really encourage you to definitely do that. Taking a big leap of faith and putting faith in my artwork by investing in your course. Awesome. Looking forward to working with you. You too, Caitlin. That's amazing. I've spent so much time online trying to start making money that has distracted me from creative time and developing products. Here we go. Okay, I am so happy that you've decided to join it. And honestly, guys, this is what it's about. What she just said there is like gold, okay? Because some people say, I've had people say to me before, well, are you trying to say that you're the only program out there? Or they say, are you saying that you're the only way people can have success online? And what I have to say to that is, no, I'm not saying I'm the only way, but I'm definitely, like, as far as this kind of a product, like, package for people who are like me, as far as I know, I'm the only, like, program, as I know right now, that does this package. So, and at this price. So I'm really proud of it. I remember, like, when I was actually beginning to even teach, I wasn't even really sure if I wanted to teach because, like, I'm an artist, right? I'm a graphic designer, illustrator. My husband's like, you could help so many people. You should create a course. And so when I created my first course and it like blew up and thousands of people joined it, I was like, I can't believe this. But I felt like I was finally like able to help people in a more tangible way. I had people always asking me to like have coffee or, can I talk to you over the phone and pick your brain? But the truth is I couldn't do that for like very many people because I didn't have as much time. I was a new mom. I had all this stuff going on, and it literally just felt like by creating a course program was the best way I could serve the most people. So I'm really happy that Caitlin's decided to join. And for all of those of you who are considering to join, I really want to encourage you that it's true. You could spend the hours and the days and the time and the money creating products and just hope it works. Or you can actually go through a program that's been like totally thought out for you, that you can use your own style, your own creativity, your own messages, your own causes, the things that matter to you, and actually bring it forward and actually let people all around the world see your art for the first time. Maybe some of you have been out for a while, your actual art's been out, you've had your products out there, but you're like not getting the feedback you want, or you're just feeling like you're hiding on the internet. I want to encourage you, it's just because there's a few missing pieces. And in this program, you're going to find out why, the parts that you're missing. You're going to fill in all those missing pieces for your overall art brand. And that's when you're going to start to get sales. And that's when you're going to start to get licensing deals. Like literally today, like earlier today, I wasn't going to say this, but this is actually freaky how cool this is. I just got contacted today by my old licensing company that I haven't even worked with them for like a while, but they just contacted me today and they were asking me if they could send off a sample of one of my art pieces to like this huge national retailer. And I'm kind of like crossing my fingers right now because I haven't got it yet, but I'm hoping I get it. But they're saying they want to see a sample and it's a really good sign. So for those of you who are joining my community, I will let you know if I get it. So say a prayer for me. I'm really hoping I get it. But these are the kind of things that happen even like without me knowing. Like how did they, like my licensing company is the one who's presenting my art to different like major retailers across North America. And it's so cool because I would never have had that opportunity if I didn't first make an art print collection on Etsy. Like everything, guys, started there. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. I'm like, everybody needs to give themselves that one opportunity just to get their own art out there, their own style. And I think that that's the best way to really serve the real passion with what you have. So let me just go on here really quick, and then I'm going to end this because we're actually going a little bit longer than I probably thought we would. I feel more positive already. Everything you've said so far makes so much sense to me. Thank you so much. That's Amanda. You're very welcome. But for those of you who are interested in any other questions, feel free to email me info@visioncity.biz. That's my email to me, not to somebody else, but to me. So you can always email me. It's info@visioncity.biz. Any questions about the webinar or any questions about the offer I've made or any way I can serve you guys. And again, for those of you who are interested, you can always check out the paypalcredit.com if that's an option for you. You can apply there and then use that to go ahead and join the program. And if you are interested already in joining the program, you can go to visioncity.biz/dreamkit. And I just want to thank you guys because you guys have been such an awesome crowd. Like really great questions, really great energy, really excitable. You guys are like high on energy and I love it. You guys are like, it's like contagious to me. So thank you. Thank you for joining me today. It's a really cold day in Toronto. I hope you guys are joining me from warmer places. And if you are in a cold place like Toronto today, I hope you're staying warm. And I want to just thank you guys again for joining me. And I definitely want to just say that I really appreciate your time and for all those who are joining the program. And somebody's asking here about my email again. I'm going to ask my husband, who's watching right now, I'm going to ask him to also write my email in the chat at the end here. So if you see my email come up, that's the email. So then that way, in case it's trying to, like, while you're trying to actually write it down while I'm saying it, it's kind of hard over webinar sometimes to understand like the spelling, or it might sound like different like letters and stuff. So I'll have him actually type it in the chat. And again, guys, thank you so much. And I will love you and leave you. Mwah. Have a really great day. Take care. And I look forward to you guys joining the program. Talk to you soon. Bye.